Hey everybody, welcome to your weekly dose of Evercast goodness. And today with me we have Crow, an undisclosed location.
Sort of. I'm here. Yeah.
Oh man. Who knows? We'll see. Gandalf.
Yeah.
Hey, there he is. Wow, that's freaky. I summoned him. he's smiling there backstage.
Well, we still don't know about Pete. Pete's not Gandalf.
He's not Gandalf.
Dude, that was creepy because literally right when I clicked the icon, you appeared. Like
Pete's more like Saruman.
Oh, no.
It's funny because I just said Richard like, Gandalf. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's going on, guys?
Man, I was just saying Crow's an undisclosed location there.
Yeah. I'm deep undercover. I'm looking for Bigfoot.
Nice. Looking for Bigfoot.
Yeah. No, I think I was saying earlier. I think Pete may have slept in. Because don't forget he's on Pacific. So it's
or he had something more urgent to do. You don't know.
More urgent than Evercast. No, yeah. Oh man, all good stuff. So before we get to news and things and whatnot, let me say hi to the chat. So we have Arcade Gig, we got Gen Joke, we got Polygon Treehouse.
What's going on?
We have Fan and Fiction channel member. Hey, Nick the Historian. He got us at the beginning for once.
What's going on, Nick?
We got Jillian D. We got Thomas Frode.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I don't know what the two dots over the O.
Yeah. I was just thinking like Frodo.
Yeah, that's an umlaut, right?
Yeah.
I thought an umlaut was something else. But that could be. Yeah, it could be an umlaut.
Be. Yeah. We got Jason Shears in the house. We got Sucker MC. Yeah, we got Tails from Juggling Waste.
What's going on, Tails?
We got Andy Davison. In center. Yeah, he made it at the start of the show today. That never happens.
Yeah, I'm stuck in a tree, you know.
In a tree.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no, fun fact, Crow's having to hold like his tablet and his phone because of the.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat here.
That's awesome.
Hey, do you want to show everyone your tent or your tent cabin or whatever?
I could. I just didn't want to mess around with the buttons.
Okay,
because,
then don't worry about it. Only if you want to. No. Like I just go.
If I get kicked out, because that happened once. I was waiting. It's nothing. Oh, because I'm.
Never mind. If it's I believe if it's easy.
Wait, I think I'm getting it. There we go.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
That's rad.
Yeah, because let me see if I can solo. There we go. Because at first I was like, wait, is that a cabin? No, it's a tent.
That's really cool. It's very cool.
Okay, there we go. And I didn't break it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I thought that was pretty neat. All right, so before we get into some news and some polls and talk about Gaelco Arcade 2, what's up, fellas? How's your week?
It's been busy.
I was gonna say that's up.
Yeah. No, it's definitely
busy, right? The fun never ends.
Busy for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say anybody. Well, we know what Crow's doing for Labor Day weekend.
Well, we're leaving tomorrow, so on Labor Day I'll be back home.
Oh, okay. Let's say y'all have any big plans, or are you just chilling like me? Just happy to be off work.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I was pretty much on Thursday. As soon as I was done, I shut the computer down. I said, I don't care what anybody else has to say.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, for me, it's gonna be like we'll have a little bit of just chill and hang out and that kind of stuff, and then there's gonna be a lot of me revisiting my place of work to finish setting up things. So it's like bittersweet. I get to go into a building and have absolutely no one in it, so I can just do what I need to do and get out. But I do have to go back there, so it's like a sad face.
Just work stuff, or are you gonna like film any?
Yeah, no, it's all work stuff. There actually might be some filming, possibly on Tuesday night. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Nice. Talk about that offline, maybe. But
cool.
But yeah, so. But yeah, most of it is just I got to go in there and get the stuff. It's start of school is Thursday, and there's been all sorts of different like construction, painting, and like all that kind of stuff. It's been kind of in our ways to put the rooms back together. So they finish up this afternoon. So tomorrow it begins.
Nice.
Yeah. Working on Saturday should be against the wall. I agree.
Yeah.
On Sunday too, but I'll probably be there.
Hey, if nobody worked on Saturday, who's going to give you your McDonald's? If you're hungry, we want a Big Mac attack on Saturday.
That's true.
Well,
hey, I was some of those people. I worked 19 years in retail. I was your friendly face behind many counters.
They're not fully automated yet.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, so it depends, right? Because once upon a time, when I worked in like tech support, right? I worked 4x10, so it was kind of nice. So I think I worked Saturday and Sunday, and I think then I had like Monday off. Then I went back Tuesday, and then I had Wednesday, Thursday, and it was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So like, and that was like kind of like it was like a long time ago, like pre-family, pre-child, and it kind of worked, and it kind of worked out because you can actually like do stuff during the week. So I think if like for like a younger person. Oh, okay.
He forgot to tell us he wasn't going to be in town.
No worries, buddy. We figured something like that. Yeah. Pete, he's also a channel member.
Hey, Pete, I'm out of town too, but that doesn't excuse you.
Oh my god. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, man. Oh my god. Yeah, I totally get it. No, that's cool that he kind of told us. I was thinking he slept in. Yeah. Awesome. All good stuff. Cooking break. Stop making me hungry.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, I was eating my Pop-Tarts before we started.
Yeah. Like, is that a Pop-Tart?
Enjoy your brekkie, Pete.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be enjoying a late brekkie after show.
Right. So
we
we have a little bit of Evercade news. Oh, let me see if I can share. I mean, one of them will be obvious because it's the Discord, and then the other one maybe not as people may know about. So here's what's funny about this.
Oh, yes, I knew there was something I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah. So, and because the internet is the internet, like when they put this out on Twitter, someone's like, "Oh, I'm really are really people disappointed because of the pre-order?" Because with me, like I'm already I have two more pre-orders in, so for me, I have to space these out. So I wasn't planning on pre-ordering this at the end of the month, anyways.
Well, the weird thing is the pre-order is being delayed, but is the actual collection isn't.
No.
They don't mention the collection being delayed.
Not in this announcement. Sean did deeper in Discord, but one other thing is I totally forgot about this, and I know there were like a few people commented on my channel. And they're like, "Hey, or we should be getting like the Duke Nukem showcase or something." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that."
Yeah. So but I think that seems to me this update sounds like a production related issue
with a video with their with their trailer video. Yeah.
It's about the video, not necessarily like putting up the pre-orders on Funstock, but they want to coincide the pre-order release with the video. So like I get them. That happens from time to time. There's a like inexplicable moves and stuff like that, especially when it's not like something giant pre-organized, like a Microsoft or a Sony or something like that. Obviously they usually hit their dates, but I've seen this come from time to time from ye old indie dev or like other smaller manufacturers, that kind of thing. I've seen that happen.
It's not a big deal. I mean, listen, it's still down the line, and it makes sense. Like, yeah, they don't want to open the pre-orders for the hype. But here's something that I think I figured out with Blaze, and I noticed they have a pattern. So whenever they announce something, if they don't announce a date, then it's like no commitment. If they say like, hey, sometime October, that which kind of makes sense. Like they play it it safe that way. But then once they nail down a date, if they say, hey, this is the date, then like that the stars have aligned, they feel comfortable, like that they've worked on all the issues, and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just kind of funny how people say they're disappointed. I'm like, dude, we still have plenty of time. I don't know, but Twitter, the internet is the internet. So yeah, I like that Sean. Tell us. I always get excited like when my phone will go off and I'll be, ooh, that's gotta be a Blaze update. I glance over my phone and I'll see that. And then another like minor update. I think people in the chat, I don't know if you guys watch the YouTube channel Retro News Roundup?
Sounds familiar.
Maybe,
I don't know
not.
It sounds familiar.
So before I got into Evercade, it's kind of like every month he puts out like a 5-minute video, and he talks about like all the retro releases that come to all the consoles, all the fan translations, like lost ports, and it's kind of like a neat like 5 or 6 minute video that's kind of like if you just want to kind of be up to date on like what like retro stuff is out there. And he talks a lot about Evercade. It was funny, like there was a while back, there was only like 1 month where he missed it. I think I gave him a hard time. Some people did, but this is a still from like his latest video. So yeah, go check him out. But he was at Gamescon or wherever Sean is, and he got to play like the Super Pockets.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So they are real. And then for me, the thing that I gleamed though is I really don't like that skinny curved D-pad. I was like, ooh, maybe.
I have to try it to see what it's like.
Gotta get it in the old hands, right?
Yeah, you guys can tell me. What I'll be curious is how big it compares into the EXP and how big like the screen real estate in Earth this time. That's funny.
Well, the question was, that was the question.
Yeah. So it's kind of neat. I mean, the renders did show it justice pretty well, but yeah, it's kind of neat. We just get to see it. But yeah, I'm curious about like the D-pad and stuff. So yeah, I think he said he got to try that out and got to play like Full Void.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I think he said there'd be an upcoming video. But yeah, it's a neat channel if you just kind of want to know kind of obscure and different things going on in retro and what's coming out, like anything like for the games that get released to the Switch service and all that. So
yeah, it's one of those weird times too where like, hey, there's a big trade show happening. And it's like I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. I did hear that they did take those somewhere for people to try them out. I read it and then I forgot about it.
Yeah, I want to say it was Gamescon. I think
it is. Well, it's either Gamescom or what was the other one? I gotta check something real quick because there's another convention happening right now.
Yeah.
PAX is happening right now.
Yeah.
As well.
Wherever Sean has been.
So I mean, if they were at PAX, I would have hoped that they would have made a bigger deal about that because that's actually rad. And then it would have been sad that I wouldn't have been able to go.
Out on a family mission. Yeah, so it'll be cool.
Hey, what's up, Skeletrax? What's going on? And Ballistic's in the house. What's up?
Yep. So yeah, I just thought that would kind of be fun to share. That was like they exist in the size and
Yep.
and all that type of stuff.
Very cool.
All right. So then I did want to get let's get into polls.
Ooh.
Polls.
I keep forgetting about those too. I'm just like, man, I want to hit the buttons and stuff, but it's just like
hit the buttons.
Life just gets you.
Yeah. Hey, I've always said you guys can always do like polls on your channels.
That's true.
We could talk about it.
For me, it's more like, can I do anything on my channel?
Right. Yeah, no.
My first poll was, do you like polls?
What?
Super. Yeah, no, I'm super busy. So yeah, I always like 79 votes. I always love like there's consistently been like a plus 60 or more people voting. And so based upon last time, I wanted to ask people, are they going to buy the Atari 26 plus 100 console? Particularly the Evercade crowd. And so, I asked the questions, specifically like, yes, I collect everything Atari. Only 8%. And then this was the one that I was the most curious about, where it said, no, Evercade collections fit my needs. And so that's really kind of what I was just like curious, like not necessarily like your, I'm trying to say, bleh, can't articulate myself this morning. Not everybody who's into Evercade is necessarily like like hardcore like Atari fans, like we are.
When you're saying Atari, are you speaking of in general everything Atari or just Atari 2600?
Right.
Well, specifically just this console because it is 2600 and 7800.
Well,
and
I mean, I can answer that like yes. I mean, I think I mean.
Well, I was like,
yeah. I mean, arcade is
I pre-ordered it instantly because that was the kind of thing I always had in mind. Like, wouldn't it be nice if there was something that looked like an Atari 2600? It was HDMI and updated.
Yep.
And when I saw it revealed, I was like, hey, that's exactly the kind of thing I want.
Right.
Yep,
But I was curious, since we have two, console Atari collections and one arcade. Like, other people, are they just like, no, that's good enough? Like, I can pretty much play all the good Atari games out. You know what I mean? So
But you can't play them with paddles.
Right,
Yeah.
of course. Well, but that's
and
why
they're
I asked
putting
them
out
that.
paddles, and they're putting out paddles with this console, which is the
Yeah,
other big thing.
I basically everything that they've have up for pre-order recently, I've pre-ordered. I pre-ordered the Atari 2600 Plus. I pre-ordered the paddles with that game collection. I pre-ordered the Mr. Run and Jump for the 2600. I pre-ordered the Berserk for the 2600, the Berserk Plus.
Right.
Because the Atari 2600 is one of the last things, one of the few things that I actually will collect for, alongside the Atari computer stuff and Commodore 64,
Nice.
and of course Evercade, and that's about it.
Yeah. But no, you bring up all great points, Crow. That's why I asked, because it's like we have two consoles, you can put in carts, but that's what I was wondering, like, do people care enough about having the Atari joystick? Do they care enough about having paddles? And
Yes.
like 44% of people don't. They're like, no, like it fits my needs. And then the second thing, which I think I'm kind of in this category, like, no, waiting for it to be in the hands of reviewers, like that's kind of where I'm at.
I'm also really curious as to what it's compatible with, because it seems kind of weird that there is a compatibility issue with at least a couple games.
Yeah.
So I'm also curious if it'll work with the Harmony cartridge. I kind of doubt it, but it would be worth trying that out. And also, what was funny was I had sold off all my 7800 stuff years ago, but just so I had a 7800 game to play on it, I actually already bought a copy, a complete in box copy of Food Fight for the 7800.
Dude.
So I've got that waiting too.
That game is so good.
Yeah, that game is rad.
And it's not that expensive. It's not like Ninja Golf.
Yes. And then
Ninja Golf is pretty pricey.
Oh God, yeah, I bet. And then I had to ask, like, no, I can already play arcade on OG hardware, because I'm sure there's people that that have this that they're like, they don't, maybe they don't want another collectible, and they're like, no, I've got plenty of ways to play it. And then I always put it's complicated explaining comments.
Is Ballistic Coffee Boy mean by, did I grab the extra controller too? Does he mean the paddle controllers?
Well, like,
is there some other?
No, it only comes with one.
They had extra controllers that you could pre-order as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't need that. I got plenty of original 2600. In fact, those aren't really the controllers I use by default. I had something from Sunsoft. I think it's from Sunsoft called the Slick Stick, and I like that. Yeah. I like that one a lot better because the joystick had way less travel.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
I've heard good things about that, but then it's hard to find 40-year-old hardware that's not beat up, you know what I mean?
I managed to find two of them. I think one of them needs to be cleaned a little bit. Like, there's metal on the inside. You could hear metal like clicking against each other, and I think some of it might be a little rusted on the inside because you could kind of feel it scraping a little bit. I'd need to take it apart and take a look and see if there's anything I can do about that. Yeah. But the other one works perfectly fine.
So here's one thing that I wondered, because like really PAL Reach, like that I don't think there will be an issue with that, because it's on an LCD and PAL, compatibility is only on a CRT. So I would hope that you'd be able to play PAL carts. I mean, like, for us, it doesn't really matter, but I would think. And then
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think it might have been mentioned somewhere that it was didn't matter NTSC and PAL compatible, because if you think about it, I don't think it'd be an issue, because it really has to do with the television signal output.
That's what I was just
you could still play a PAL 2600 game on a US 7000. It's just that if you didn't have a PAL supported television, it wouldn't look right. The screen would roll.
Well, it's just you can play PAL Game Boy games on any region Game Boy, and it doesn't matter. And then some other comments: never grew up with it to pass. Atari Junior with complete menus. I like the backspit cartridge, plays like a dream on my HDT. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. As a person who grew up with 2600 my first console, I think Atari's niche has dried up, more so thanks to VCS. Simply put, I'll pass. I'm happy with Evercade. It was a little before my time, but I'll check it out. No, it looks like a cool product. So many other ways but I have so many other ways to play Atari 2600 games now. Atari isn't my thing. I like Commodore. So kind of interesting
I do
comments.
too. I have like 5 Atari 2600s. I'm still getting this.
Right?
Yeah, and that's why it's one of those things, and that's why I was really curious. How relating to Evercade, because there's different reasons where people are getting it, and I think there's different reasons why people aren't getting it, and so that's why I think really there's like either you're definitely getting it, or you've made up your mind or not, or you're kind of like me, like in the middle. Like I just kind of just like I want to see if it lives up to my expectations, and I'm like, do I?
I got the Atari 2600 Lego kit. Of course, I'm getting this.
Right.
True. But to Jason Shire's comment, I'm actually kind of annoyed for you that never happened. But I also slotted the arrival of the Atari VCS in other regions outside of US and Canada. I would say never again.
So here's my question: when he says Atari VCS, is he talking about the original or the newer one?
The new one.
Okay, because that's what's confusing. That's why they should never have named it the video computer system.
Yes, it's true. It is very true. But yeah, no, he's referring to this guy right here.
Yeah.
They should have stuck with the original name, the Atari box.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, yes, there was talks about them in the comments. See, I hate with a passion that YouTube again doesn't show people's like full name, so sometimes it's like difficult to figure who's who. Yeah, but still, it's a valid it should work. But yeah, it's a valid concern.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you mainly have PAL cards, obviously you'd want it to work. Or like, what would be the?
Well, see, I think it's not going to be an issue because it's an HDMI out signal, and that's kind of a worldwide standard.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, so it's kind of neat to see where people in our community are at who are getting it and whatnot.
Absolutely.
All right, so if I can function StreamYard today, why don't we talk a little bit about Gaelco 2 Arcade?
Ooh.
Gaelco. There's actually a game that's when you start it up, it actually says how it's supposed to be pronounced. I can't remember which one it is, and I don't think it's any of the ones that was in either of these collections. But there is a game that starts up and it says how to pronounce it.
Yeah, it's like we need that.
What was it? I didn't keep when I sold off my 7000 stuff. There was no game I actually kept. I sold it all, but what games were holding me back from selling it were Food Fight and Ninja Golf, and I had Beef Drop, which was the homebrew version of Burger Time, but I just decided to sell it all. But I did buy Food Fight back just so I had a 7800 game to try out on the 2600 Plus when it comes out.
Nice.
Okay, Big Karnak.
Yeah. So what are your all's thoughts on this game?
Best game on the cartridge. I love this game.
This game is awesome.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
It is. It's one of those things that it's like, like what if you had like a Ghouls and Ghosts or something like that, but then whoever made it just decided to just go all in on some crazy nonsense, and it's
hit the coconuts back at the monkeys.
Yeah.
Yes!
It's so good. That's so good.
How could you not love that? I know like when we were like saw the trailers, like of all the games that were on this, I was the most hyped for this, and I always think like, what about Little Karnak? I don't know, it's just kind of funny like that.
What about Little Karnak?
Yeah.
Well, each level has something a little bit different going on too.
Right.
What's funny is there's that one level in the pyramid, and there's so many death traps in it. And I thought that was hilarious. And one of the death traps is the 2 words. You have to spin the words to say the right thing to open a door.
Oh.
But you could accidentally make it spell death, and then he just dies.
No way.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Oh man, this is a lot. This does remind me a lot like of Ghouls and Ghosts, especially when they like show like the map.
Yeah.
He does have kind of a weird, almost like a stiff feel to him, but I kind of like that in this regard.
Mm.
It's been a while since I played this though, so
Yeah.
I'm looking at this footage. I'm trying to remember things.
Yeah, if I remember, I think this was one of those games that like I think I played through it like in the first or second time. Like I just enjoyed it that much, and I got sucked into it. I think enough time has passed too. I could probably play it and beat it again.
Absolutely.
It's that crazy. Yeah, look at
You have
this.
to walk away, otherwise the snake doesn't come back, I think.
My wife and I love playing this. Nice. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. And then there's the 2 layers. There's kind of like a background and a foreground.
Right.
At least in this
Yeah.
stage. I can't remember.
Yeah. No, I forgot about that. Yeah, the background for which is also neat. Kind of adds the layer to it.
But yeah, like the stiffness, I like for this game. I think it works.
The stiffness. Yeah, I think it does work. Oh, nice Jen joke other recently. Yeah, this as we go through this, I think this cart does have some really good games. There's something about maybe because I don't know if the first one was the first one, but I feel like it didn't capture the full magic of it. But then again, there's still there's still great games like this.
Yeah, well, I think the only thing is it's hard like when you're trying to compare the two, because Gaelco 1, in my opinion, had so many different games that were so far out there.
Yeah,
and it was just like there's no reference point for me because it's absolutely bonkers. And I think that really kind of like lifted, like if I were doing like ranking or whatever, it lifted it for me above and beyond Gaelco 2. But there are games like this that it's like, well, I am happy Gaelco 2 exists because I really like this game.
Yeah, and the bosses in this are fantastic. Like, look at this guy. Look at this big ass skeleton here.
Right.
The Karnoff boss is at the beginning of stage 2. Is that the one that's because
there should be a Karnov versus Karnak game.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
well, there kind of isn't it? In the next stage where you're kind of fighting that Karnoff knockoff.
Yeah, it is kind of like that. Yeah.
But I can't remember if I in this video if I beat him no hit or not. I guess we could find out.
Yeah.
Is it really the next level? Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Well, this guy takes forever to kill.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah, I forgot. No life bar.
Oh, that's right. And you get a new weapon at the end of every stage, and then you use that weapon in the next stage. That's what makes it different. So let's see. I think let's see if he hits me. If it's here he goes.
It's so funny. You're like, like you're doing like wild martial arts kicks and stuff.
I know, right?
But it seems like if you were going to do it, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Jump, kick, run.
Right. I mean, but that's like, this takes me back to like all old school beat 'em ups. Like you're like a double dragon or something like that. That's like exactly how you'd handle the boss.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
This is like like the first time you fight like in a Bobo or whatever, and you're like, wait, what do I do? This thing is so huge. It's just like, kick him in the face and run.
This map has the 4 clues as to what you need to do as to exit the level.
Okay. I never noticed that.
To carry on, you must write Gaelco. That's the code you need to put to open the door. But that's also the code where you could accidentally spell death.
You know what? I think either I just got lucky or I just like messed around with it, or I don't know. I'm trying to figure it.
Well, if you look at it, to be honest, I totally forgot about the hints as I was playing, but it's kind of obvious the password would be Gaelco.
Yeah, it's like, dang it.
Oh yeah, you create the shield there.
Yeah. But yeah, this might be the most of both on this of both of the Gaelco. This might be the most like indifferent, bizarre, unique art style. Like, yeah, this one.
Well, like all of Gaelco's games are like that. They're unique, and part of the reason for that is that they made their own hardware, and it was oftentimes like kind of jerry-rigged together, which is why it took so long for these games to be emulated to begin with.
Right.
I see.
Yeah, because there wasn't like a standard.
Well, other companies made their own standard, I think.
Right.
And they used them like a lot for different games. But Gaelco, I think almost all their games are like running on slightly different hardware.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you remember, they're primarily a electronic dart company. They still are.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's right.
I like
They
that.
just sold off all their games.
Yeah, I really like that scrolling in the background of the level.
What?
Like if you see like through the windows, you can see like the other
Oh yeah.
like, scrolling like on the opposite side or whatever. It's really neat.
Yeah, a lot of attention to detail, but I mean that's like what made arcade games so great because they could handle all that stuff. Like if this was like you couldn't do this justice being ported to a console. It would have to be like so stripped down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this one's definitely
It's good times.
Definitely a winner here. What do I want to jump to next? Can't pick all the. All right, I know which other. So this next one I'm actually going to jump to. It's actually two different games.
Oh, you're talking about the puzzle game.
Maniac Square. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about this one, and the next we'll talk about the prototype because they're so different. Yeah.
To be honest, I think this was my least favorite in the whole collection. I thought there's something. When I see the footage, I'll remember exactly what it is, but there's something that wasn't quite right about this game to me. I can't quite remember what it was offhand.
I think it's the mechanics. Like here, it's just kind of slow. And then there's like not really any music. I don't think. And then the prototype.
Yeah, there was no music. That was one thing that was bizarre. I think there was music in the prototype, which is weird. So I wonder, like, what it was. Like they think that I don't know why they took like the prototype and wound up making such an inferior game from it.
Yeah. That's. See, that's
the prototype is 2-player. This is only 1-player. Oh, I guess it is 2-player.
Yeah.
No, I was wrong. I thought it wasn't. But there are power-ups in the prototype. There's no power-ups here.
You know, maybe that's what it is because I kind of had the same experience too when I played this. Like I had higher expectations because loving my puzzle games, and I was like, this it just seemed very like lackluster. No music, no power-ups or anything, and then. Yeah, I'm glad that Blaze gave us the prototype. But if I remember right, you just have to put in Gaelco 1 and 2 into your VS.
No. You just put in a combo code. You put a code on the title screen for Maniac Square.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
and then
right.
and then it just switches to the prototype.
Yeah, that's why we have.
So you could do this. You could do this on the handheld Evercade too. So it's not like exclusive to the VS.
Yes. Oh, you know what? If you put in both the cards, you get like that. You get that like gun game. I think.
Yes,
right?
Bang. Which I.
Yeah. Which really need to like.
Bang is okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So you can actually play this. You can actually play this on the handhelds, the prototype, which is nice that they set it up that way.
Yeah,
I think this game is just boring.
Yeah,
I mean, I really like puzzle games. The thing that I'm not as fond of in this particular one is the fact that the timer is there. Like, I'm okay with the timer, and it's just like but there are certain circumstances where you have to build up a little bit in order to make your line requirement, based on the board. And I think it's kind of unfair that it's always 60 seconds, and then it's like, wait, if I just have another 5 seconds, I could get like 4 lines, and then complete my objective. But you can't get the pieces to either line up enough or drop fast enough or whatever, and it's like, oh man,
the bizarre thing is they're saying lines, and when I think lines, I'm thinking the whole horizontal line, and that's not what they're referring to.
Right. They're just making do a combo.
Yeah.
Plus, I think if you connect 4, you don't even get any special bonus for that.
Oh yeah, I think you're right about that.
Yeah, this one's funny. I get a lot of puzzle fans, and we're just all like, yeah, we really wanted to like this, but it was just kind of.
Yeah, but I think it's a common consensus that the prototype is way better than the version they actually put out.
So the weird thing about it is, and I guess I didn't know about like the coolness of the prototype is now I've got to go back and put in that code because I never played the prototype.
Oh yeah, it's much better.
Yeah, I gotta go check that out now.
You know what would be neat that I kind of wish that Blaze could do now they're like the secret menu? Like, it'd kind of be neat if you put in the code once and then it would remember it and then it would just like add that as another game. Like you would see the normal and the prototype side by side.
Well, they kind of do that now, but for this one in particular, that you have to have the cartridge, so they're not going to save it, I think.
Yeah, no, that
like
makes
in the
sense. Like,
internal menu,
And plus, the
Yeah,
code
yeah.
isn't that difficult. You just have to hold in all the shoulder buttons at the same time, right? Isn't that the code?
I think so. Yeah, but I mean, but you know how it is, like because like with me sometimes like it may sound kind of silly, but like I may forget to unlock it.
Right.
Yeah, like I agree, you still have to put in the cart, but maybe it's just once you unlock it, like just have it
Yeah,
show
you could
up
like
as-
write something to the cartridge that you did it.
Yeah,
Yeah, actually, I think in the beginning of the video I had for the prototype, it says exactly what you need to do to unlock it. So
well, you know, let's talk about the prototype because this I think with this game there's not as much more to say. The prototype is a lot more exciting, and I'll see
maybe I
how loud the
didn't.
background
Wait.
music is.
Oh, okay, here we go. No, this is still Maniac Square.
Oh, did I? Hold on a second.
Yeah, it's
Prototype.
choose
There we
Maniac
go.
Squares.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you have to hold all of the buttons. I did write it there.
Yeah.
I can Streamyard.
But yeah, you always got the permanent split screen, which I'm fine with. You got that animated screen in the middle that shows stuff. Thought that was kind of cool. You might, if you might want to skip forward a bit because I think I showed the whole demo in this video.
Okay,
You
there's
got
the
music.
Yeah. Yeah, this music is awesome. Oh yeah, and you get
I
like
love
that cool.
this.
You get that
Yeah.
cool thing in the middle, and yeah, it feels
The
like more
dot
arcade.
matrix.
Yeah, you know what? I think we like this because it's more like it feels a lot more like Tetris. There's not that timer or anything.
What?
Yeah.
It still plays like columns, but to me it's still not like Tetris because you do get power ups,
Yeah.
and it's more like columns if anything.
Yeah.
But you've got the counter in the middle that shows you how many of each color you've got, and I
Yeah.
think when one of those fills up, you get a super bonus piece or something.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like the whole demo kind of explains the whole thing, but it does take quite a while to get there.
This absolutely like feels like it almost feels like in reverse.
Yes.
Like this.
Yeah, like this should be the final game, and the other one's the prototype.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to know kind of like what a history, like what, like why this is the prototype. Like why didn't this like get a release as the final?
Yeah.
So much better. But yeah, this is a case where I'm so happy that Blaze gave us both versions because we always talk about alternate versions, and this one is like the superior one.
Absolutely.
I kind of
The
wonder,
pieces
like, if
explode.
the arcade machine had a separate screen on it just for this, or maybe we just like this in the CRT.
That's cool.
Still got levels. But this is the thing that kind of reminds me of the Atari Tetris arcade game, because as you finish each level, something different happens to the puzzle. Like here, you've got a nearer bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know in the Tetris one, they had like pieces just randomly appear occasionally.
Yeah, and I think that keeps it fresh versus like when you play the regular version, you're just gonna get burnt out. Like I'm just dropping blocks to beat the time. There's nothing else special.
Right.
Well, is there a timer here? Because it said.
Yeah, it doesn't
What
look
do you
like
need
there's
to
a
do?
timer here.
Oh, there's no
No.
timer. Yeah. You just have to complete a certain number, and that's it.
Yeah.
There was a question block there that was random. You didn't know what it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, this is. Yeah, I mean, agreed. I know I didn't even play it, but it's like also agreed. Just looking at this, I'd be like, wow, this feels a whole lot more complete or fun.
And like as you go through the levels, it starts to get way too fast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean that I'm almost okay with
Oh,
because you can get into a groove, right?
I just realized that victory sound that plays at the end when you complete the level.
Yeah.
That's the same one from Glass.
That's funny.
You just don't have the guy going, yeah.
That's great. We paid for a sound license it. We're going to use it, damn.
That's awesome.
Well, I think it was a prototype. It's a prototype, so I think they just were reusing sounds they already had.
Sure, yeah.
Why not?
But it works.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is just fantastic. Like, this
yeah.
feels arcade. If anything, my only minor gripe is just like, just because you have this second player always there, it's not a problem on the VS, but it just takes up more real estate.
Yeah.
On the handheld.
Yeah, it's funny. I keep forgetting that about the handheld, to be honest. There are a bunch of games I don't think I'd play on the handheld, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've been playing. Yeah, I've actually been playing VS more. All right, well, we'll talk about one more, and then we can save the other three for next time.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a game not as excited.
Oh,
Squash.
this game's great though.
Squash is cool.
Because you could dive.
Yeah.
It's different. I mean, it's the only squash arcade game that I played. Like, I'm glad. Like, I like it better than this than like a generic tennis or something.
Yeah.
And you got like the cutscenes like between the matches showing the two guys. I think
I don't know if I played it.
There was one slight problem I had with this game. I can't remember exactly what it was though. But yeah, there's not many. Yeah, the crowd jumps, cheers. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But they kind of like the Blair character's like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I definitely like this a lot better than the ultimate tennis on Pico Arcade 1. Like, 'cause this is just very different.
Look at that! I love that. He like crashes to the ground.
That's awesome. Those animations are great.
That's funny.
Oh, I remember what it was. You're supposed to be able to like use the D-pad to kind of control where you want to hit the ball, but it doesn't seem like it works a lot of time. So I don't know if there's something I'm doing wrong, but because sometimes it goes exactly where I want it to go, and then sometimes it goes in the totally opposite direction, and maybe it's timing as well. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
well, a lot of times in those kind of games where they give you a little bit of angle control, it does matter, like the arc in which you're hitting, but it doesn't make physics sense.
Yeah,
right.
Well, like a baseball game. If you wanted to hit it to the left, you would normally swing earlier, and if you wanted to hit to the right, you'd swing later. But here, the instructions specifically said you could point the D-pad to make it go in the direction you want.
Yeah.
Either that or that's putting spin on the ball or something like that. You could do that. I can remember you could put spin on the ball too.
Yeah. So
when it bounces, it changes trajectory.
Just crushing this poor guy.
Actually, that's what this whole video is me killing every computer opponent.
That's awesome. Guy's getting frustrated now. He's like stomping his feet.
Well, yeah, I can't remember like what you need to play to win the game though.
You can really see the outline of their butts. I just like notice that. No, I can't unsee that. Yeah, like really. Like when they're standing, like when they're just like, yeah, when they're like that, they like wiggle their butts at you. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it's not my favorite game on the cart, but it's different, right? It's like something.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, these kinds of sports games, I'm not mad at. When you see these kind of things, it's like, all right, it's cool, it's different. I'm like, I'm okay with this stuff.
Well, it's like tennis. If you like tennis, you'll kind of you're bound to like this. It's something different. There's like every system has got like 5 to 10 tennis games.
Right.
How many squash games do you see?
That's true.
You know what? Funny you mentioned. I haven't played it since I was a kid, but I remember like back in the days of the Game Boy, I loved like whatever like Mario tennis. But actually, like it's surprising. You could be the different characters and actually think of the play.
There we go.
Whoa! He can kick his banging his head on the
He's
ground.
hitting his head on
You
the
got
ground.
you got the cheerleaders in the background.
Wow!
That's wild.
Wow. Yeah, okay, at least you get a different background.
There you go. Yeah, now you got your audience on both sides.
Can you?
But there's only
they actually look at the points.
Is this just one?
But there's only two. There's only two arenas though. This is the one you'll see for the rest of the game.
Can you do 2 players in this, or is it just one?
Yeah, you could do 2 players.
Okay. I just didn't see the thing where it said insert coin, but yeah, this seems like it'd be a lot more fun playing against a buddy.
Yeah. Oh.
And now they're on that side. Yeah. Spectators.
And the computer guys get really hard as you go down. They're hard to begin with. They get really hard the second, like when you start to like get to the end, and you do win a trophy at the end if you make it through the whole thing.
Ooh. The coffee boy. Yeah, the spectators are literally squashed. See what I did there? I know they are. Oh, that's a great pun.
That's funny, but yeah, all in all, that's a pretty good time.
Nice. Anything else you guys want to say about this? Like for me, I'll just say to me, I think it's average. Like it's not horrible, it's not great, but it's different. It gives more at least there's more of a wow factor than the original. My brain really can't function. Than the original Maniac Square. No, not the prototype.
Yeah, I think when I ranked the games, Maniac Square, the original, wound up dead last, but the prototype wound up like in the middle of the list somewhere, like maybe 3rd. But Big Karnak, I remember, was definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
What are the other games in this collection? I can't remember now. There's the Rally 2. I can't remember the name of that.
World Rally 2.
Yeah, Rally 2, Touch and Go, which I totally forget what that is.
Oh, it's volleyball.
Yeah.
I think I like the volleyball one more than this one.
Yeah, that one was actually good.
Wait till we get to that one, because I accidentally discovered there's a super spike feature in that game where your guy jumps like several hundred feet up in the air to spike the ball.
Oh, that's crazy.
And then of course we have Thunder Hoop 2, which is like it's more like a running gun, which is different.
Yeah, it's well, that's its own thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like Thunder Hoop was like, I like Dig Dug's powers. I'm just gonna explode everybody.
Right.
That's awesome.
All right. Yeah, all good stuff. Yeah, we'll finish the other things next time. So yeah, we can do a little chill and chat. If the audience wants to bring anything up, or if you guys want to bring anything up, we can certainly go ahead and talk about.
Heck yeah. So I was playing a fairly recent Atari VCS release. I think was it Tuesday's release or Thursday's release or something like that? It's a game called Biolab Wars.
Yes.
That game needs to find its way over here.
Dude.
Apparently the dev has like tons of other games too. So like come on over this way.
It's like Contra and crack. No,
that game is awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It's so good. And it's not really like hefty either. Like the download for that game was, I want to say it was like 32 meg or something like that.
Oh dang.
And that's the entire game.
It's like a souped up NES cart.
On VCS. I was like, you can easily fit that on an Evercade cart. Yeah, with some more. Like that, but the game is awesome. I really had a fun time playing it.
It's like a $5 game. Yeah, no, we need.
Yeah. Ballistic's like, it's $5 too. What a steal! Absolutely agree, 100%. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Biolab something or other.
Yeah, Biolab Wars.
What kind of game is it? Because it's bound to be on Steam as well.
It's like a run and gun. Like think Contra.
Biolab Wars.
Yeah. Only you can play as like a dog, like in a cosmonaut suit.
Okay.
And then you can play as like a pumpkin head guy, and then like the archetypical big bro dude, and then like there's like a warrior lady kind of thing that you could choose to.
Yeah, it's neat character selection. So John Snyderman, he makes a good question with the rise of Baldur's Gate 3. Are there any D&D games you think Evercade should focus on?
I mean, if you can get them from, and I think it's Capcom that owns the license. I mean, absolutely.
The two Dungeons and Dragons beat 'em ups
games. Let's go. Yeah. Let's do it. Like obviously, it's got to get locked to a handheld because I think that's how like Namco and Capcom are playing this game.
Yeah.
But like okay, I'll please. But then you got to go through two things, right? Because TSR got bought by Wizards, so it's Capcom and Wizards of the Coast you got to do a deal with in order to get that stuff happening. So, and Wizards notoriously is hard to deal with. So
yeah, imagine the booklet. So, but here's a question on that because right now you can buy like that. You can buy like that collection on Steam. Like I got it on sale when it was like $5, and it plays great on the Steam Deck, by the way. But like. Otherwise, it retails for $15. So, other than the fact of being physical, like, do you think Capcom, like, what else could they throw on there just to make it a dual? You know what I mean? To give a little more value.
Well, I mean, there's 3 of those games, right?
I thought there were just
Are
2.
there 3? I thought there were the 2 beat 'em ups.
Yeah, they're just the 2 beat 'em ups.
But I mean, I could be wrong. But I could have sworn that there were 3 of those. But even 2. I mean, if they made it a cart, that could be an arcade dual cart for sure, and I would still pay the $20.
Oh man, that Buck Rogers game, whoo, that is a game.
On Mega Drive.
That I had it for the Genesis at one time. That manual, I swear, was like 400 pages, which is not good for a console game. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen that one. I've seen the there was an Atari game, right, or a Coleco game
for Buck Rogers. Oh, that's the Planet Zoom. That's a completely different game. This is like a role-playing game. It's a straight-up role-playing game where you roll the dice and stuff, and you get your stats at the beginning of the game. Yes, that's why the manual's 400 pages.
Wow.
At least, like maybe it's 200. But I just remember I made a video way back in the day, back when YouTube was limited people to like either 10 or 15 minutes. I think at the very beginning of the game, like my very first turn or my second turn, everybody blew up. What?
I would do it.
So it looks like there's the Shadows of Mystaria, and then there's the Tower of Doom.
Yes, Tower of Doom was what I was thinking was one of my. I couldn't remember the name of the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it would be a lot like what was that game that we got on the Gaelco? Was it Gaelco Collections? The 2 arcade games where you're like the warriors and you're running through the. I can't remember. What was the name of that game? Wizard Fire and Wizard Fire 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think we're getting Kadash sometime in the future too, and that's kind of like a role-playing action game.
Yeah. Ooh, no, dude, Kadash is awesome. No, I mean, I agree with you, Rich. Like, I'm like a value for you, like someone who's like loves Dungeons and Dragons. I think a dual cart would be fine. But I'm like wondering for everyone else, just because you can. I mean, it's kind of like, is it worth it to pay more to get it physical versus you can get it, digital a little bit cheap? You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if they just throw on a third arcade like beat 'em up,
right?
But like feature the 2 just
and
so that
we do need Broforce. There's so many games I have on Steam that would go perfect on the Evercade. I think.
Evercade. Yeah,
Broforce is one of them. I wouldn't mind seeing Peglin. I play that a lot.
Yeah.
And they keep updating that game like crazy. Every time I play, it seems like there's new pieces, new things to do, new rules, new characters. Peglin is like, you remember Peggle?
Yeah.
It's like a role-playing version of Peggle, sort of. But you could buy the things you throw are you buy them differently. You don't get the power-ups in the level. Rather, the thing that you throw is has the special powers.
Huh.
Like whether or not it splits into multiple balls or it bounces super high or something.
Nice. Oh, John Schneiderman he picked up Biolab and the soundtrack.
Dude.
Yeah, that soundtrack's awesome.
I looked at. What's funny is I was like I looked it up. I put it on my wish list, but the screenshot they show, like right off the bat, is like a picture of like the dog in the outfit.
Yeah.
And the first thing I thought was like, wait a minute, isn't this on the Evercade? And I was like thinking, oh wait, no, that's that other dog game that's
Yeah.
coming out on
Yeah.
the Indie Heroes collection.
Yeah. Oh man, what is the name of that?
Good Boy something.
Yeah, Good Boy. Is it Good Boy Galaxy?
But,
It might be Good Boy Galaxy. Yes.
Yeah, it's like because it's a riff off of Commander Keen, and the game like kind of looks like it might play like a Commander Keen game, which would be amazing. Please, can we get that too? Thanks.
So this is interesting. With Cryptic Coffee saying he got his copy of our Pico Arcade 1. All everything works great. He updated his EXP last night. HDMI won't work on monitor. Huh.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know.
There's another game I've been addicted to. Kind of ridiculous. I don't know how well it would work on the Evercade. It's called Luck to Be a Landlord. And the whole premise of the game is that you're renting the apartment, but the only way you can make money is from a slot machine in the apartment. But every time you spin the slot machine, there's not only like 5 symbols on the slot machine to begin with. Every time you pull the slot machine and you finish a round, you can add another symbol to the slot machine based off 3 randomly selected ones. And like every so often your rent is due. And if you can't pay your rent, the game is over.
Oh no. We'll have to check that out.
But like one of the pieces is like a toddler. You can put a toddler on the board. But then if you put candy on the board and the candy winds up next to the toddler eats the candy and gives you more money.
That's neat.
That's great.
It is. It's hilarious.
Yeah, 2024 should be interesting. See, hopefully we'll get to see more different like unknown arcades or indies or other stuff like that. It'll be interesting to see what we get. But yeah, those like different weird games are like always like so great.
Hey, what's up, Fastback?
Fastback. Oh, so non-Evercade but handheld related, and I'm sure you guys may have like seen that. And I would be curious to kind of ask our viewers, like Analog Pocket, like they released a glow in the dark version.
Yeah.
And they charge like, and it's like $250, and it sold out in 2 minutes. But what I thought was, and the reason I bring this up is that Blaze has been doing special editions, like not that it's like specific to them, but what's interesting is it's something that like you order that and they'll actually like ship it out like that week.
Yeah.
Because usually Analog Pocket stuff is like impossible to get. But for me, maybe it's just me though. I mean, I guess there's a certain market for glow in the dark. For me, like with it, usually those type of things with it glowing in the dark is kind of a novelty. But outside of that, like for me, I kind of look silly. Like for me, like that like that device wouldn't capture the nostalgia. Like it's just that light gray. That's kind of like interesting.
Yeah.
And I only bring that up because like I think like I'm still like kind of like on the quest for like a vertical handheld that can play like Game Boy and Game Boy Color, whether it's like emulated or not. So I always like to keep like
well, that would be the Game Boy Advance SP.
It does, but like for me, though, what's like a lot more nostalgic is having like that vertical. It's like having that vertical handheld.
Like the one
Game Boy Advance SP.
Yeah.
But it's not. But it's okay. But it's not as like chunky though. Like it's what I mean. Like that. Like this kind of does it, but it's not. It's like I didn't have this like growing up. Like, and that's why one of the reasons like I initially like got like did get that. And then I kind of wonder, well, if I just had like a better screen on this, would I be happy? But it's nuts though, because if you look at all like the different options, like getting a modded,
you can install a better screen.
I know.
Handheld, I think it's handheldlegend.com. You got tons of screens to choose from.
Yeah. No, that's the next Evercade collection. I'm glad we're getting a Game Boy game, but I kind of hope we see more of those on Evercade.
I'm fine with it being like a Game Boy game as long as it's good.
Right.
Because the reason those games are like that is because the technology for the handhelds couldn't be as good as either the consoles at the time. But so why not get the console version and put that on the Evercade?
Yeah, for nostalgia. I mean, like the earlier, like definitely like the earlier games. Like Castlevania 1, it was neat to have, but like Castlevania 2, like on the Game Boy, like was much improved. But yeah, like as I got on, like the cartridges got like a little bit bigger, and things just kind of got improved. And for me, it's like purely It's just like purely nostalgia. Yeah, and we've gotten some like GBA games, but no, but it's kind of funny because like every now and then I'll think, well, do I need a vertical handheld? Do I need like a 2600? Probably not, but just like the nostalgia, like the nostalgia bug for certain things. And it's like, well, technically, if I really want to play it, I can just like emulate all that stuff on my Steam Deck. But no, I'm like, again, it's just kind of a weird thing. Like, do I really still need the vertical form factor, or like you said, Crow, put a better screen in this and just be like done with it.
I wonder if you could mod like an original Game Boy to be like a Game Boy Advance. I wonder if that kind of kit is out there somewhere.
So there is, I think they like so there's the they call it the GBA hinged, and there's two different. There's a version where it is plastic, and there's also a metal version, which is nice. And the metal versions are a lot more expensive, but yeah, they've got that. So it's kind of like you could have like a Game Boy that never existed that can play, all the Game Boy things in that form factor. Oh, that was weird.
Was that me or is that you?
I don't know.
Because on my screen, you both kind of timed out at the same time, like you got the circles.
Oh, that might have been one of those things like last week when the dog unplugged the internet in my room. The same thing happened.
Yeah, you know what? So Steven, see, that's great. It is a funny thing because with me, sometimes it's weird, right? Because like sometimes for nostalgia, like I don't know what I want nostalgia wise, and so that's why, like most of the time having the cards with Evercade really does scratch that itch. But every now and then I just kind of like, do I want this? Do I not? And then it kind of like disappears back into the ether, and then it kind of comes back. So yeah, nostalgia is a really funny thing. And then sometimes misremembering. Yeah, like sometimes some games could be better or things could be worse in your mind. Yeah, like I totally agree 100%. It's just kind of funny. That's kind of why, like with kind of going back to the like if the Super Pocket was just like a little bit like if it was just like a little bit bigger and had like a kind of a bigger 4x3 screen like some of the other other handhelds you can get out there, and then they had it like in a Game Boy design, and they had like some built-in Game Boy game like that, like oh my god, like that would
well, it might be exactly what you're looking for when you get it in your hands.
Yeah, I'll see you guys do a review, but like for me though, like I can't get everything. It's just like, yeah, especially this year for Evercade, it's like if you buy the special editions of those and you get the Atomic Edition of Duke and all the cards, like, oh, your wallet, like there's a lot. Like,
yeah, I mean this year, I mean, was surprisingly heavy for the wallet. I wasn't expecting like that much, because you put all that together and then you add the Super Pockets and all that kind of stuff. It really does add up.
Yeah. Well, that's a great thing to bring up, Rich, because I think it depends what type of like Evercade or someone is. So I think it's like, let's say if you're not going for the complete collection where it's like, hey, I'm just going to buy only the games that like I really want, then maybe getting some of those things are easier. But like like someone like us, like 12 or 14 carts, and that's why like if you're just getting a few of them, yes, but that's one of the reasons why I go like VGA Plus, because it's like you get the 2 carts shipped between like $35 and $37.
Yeah,
and then it's like and so it's just like it does start to it does start to add up with other things. So yeah, you really got to choose, and then or you can go the fun stock route and maybe get a bundle and get a little bit more that costs a little bit more, and then supposedly get it earlier, or you can just get them off AMP. So there's many different ways, but yeah, we keep thinking like no new hardware, but but as we know, Blaze is secretly a hardware company. And we'll see next year. I know, like in Discord, there's been some chat about like the Super Pockets. Some people were theorizing, is it just going to be a once a year thing, right, or is it going to be? I think it really what they're going to close up a beard. I think it's going to be how well these Super Pockets. I think that's what Blaze is testing. How well that they do. It might be something. Is it going to be a one and done? Will we see one of these? I think the thing that they may like the special editions they may consider, or there may be like a more limited quantity. I think you can still get those, right? If you really want.
What?
Of the Super Pockets, you can get the special editions.
Oh, can you?
You probably could.
They were on Funstock, right?
Yeah, let's check.
Yeah, they were only on Funstock,
yeah.
I think.
So I wonder if like Funstock is going to get stuck with other. You have to go into retro, I think, if they're gonna get stuck with extra. Yeah, you still have limited editions. They're gonna get stuck with extra stock.
Yeah, they still have. I mean, yeah.
Or if they're only gonna make, I'm not sure how that.
Yeah, limited. I mean, that's a long time, and actually another kind of interesting side to that story. It's also possible that this particular limited edition model just didn't hit because maybe some people liked the way the regular edition looks better. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well,
that too, and I think some people. I mean, that's like an unproven form factor. It's not really Evercade related, I consider, even though it does play Evercade games. So, like, people who want one might just want one. They might not want both.
That's true.
No. So I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what they need to do to. And I've given this like a lot of thought, right? Because I know some people I've seen like in Discord are like, yeah, I want Gaelco or Pac-Man. Here's the, I think somebody mentioned Tate mode. Here's the problem. In its current state, any game that's like in Tate mode or skinnier screen, like for me, it would be unplayable. Like it would be like kind of like too tiny, too much of the bars. What they could do if they were to get the licensing, if they did come out with a Namco collection, have all those vertical games and have the screen have like a screen designed vertically for it. Maybe make it like a little bit bigger, and then you have something that's more comfortable that can just play Tate mode games. Like that would be neat.
But again, it's not really the Evercade stuff is like a secondary stuff on it. The games that are built into it are what the screen should be focusing on.
Yeah. That's what they should do. Have one that's like a Galaga. Put like your Miss Pac-Man on there. Put like your Mappy, like those games that play in that vertical orientation.
Yeah, if they did come out with a Namco arcade one that played all of the Tate mode games, then have a different screen in it.
Yes.
But I guess that would, if that would be a different form factor, maybe.
It would have to be a little bit. Yeah, it would have to be a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit bigger.
They'd have to have two different versions of the Super Pocket.
Yeah. So that would kind of be interesting to see if they do that. So here's what's interesting. Yeah, so here's what's interesting. I guess it depends on why you want to get it, because I think there's a few reasons. Like, hey, I just want everything, every kid, I want to collect it. I think the other thing too is the aesthetic, or it's like, or maybe you want more of a pocketable version. But yeah, RMGB TV, I agree with you that like when I did my poll, I asked people which one if they were getting them, and everybody picked the Taito one.
Well, I think the reason why the games are the same is because that was kind of the point. Those were the games they may have had the license to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is really meant for another market, I think, because even when you bought the Evercade EXP, I don't think you really bought it because of the games that were in it. You bought it because you played Evercade cartridges. Whereas the Super Pocket's like the reverse. You're buying it because of the Capcom games that are built into it.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole Evercade thing is a secondary thing I think most people aren't even going to use. That's why there's a blank spacer in the cartridge slot when you get it.
Yes. Yeah. But let me see if I can find an image of it. This is kind of what I was maybe hoping what they would have maybe done. Well, let's see if I can. Can I compare it to that? Okay, see if I can. Okay, so here's kind of what I was hoping. Let me share. Let me share this. It's if they kind of made it something like this Ambernick. And actually, this is something that I've so let's see if I can. If they made a form factor that was like, what is this, an Ambernick, the RG35XX? If they made it something like this,
mm-hmm.
I think I can. Can't make it any bigger. But anyways, if they made it like that, where it's in that form factor, it's a bigger 4x3 screen, and so the big thing is you have the nostalgia of like the Game Boy part.
Yeah.
But then you have let's say then you have the game fill the whole screen with no borders. Like that, you know what I mean? Like that would have been more of a selling point. Like just having, something a bit more pocketable. A crow in the forest. Hey, sirens.
Mm-hmm.
See that would have interested me like a lot more. Like make something like that. Because so the thing like for me like kind of like playing these like I like the kind of games I want to play. I'm not going to be using like the LR or like an analog stick. Like the type of games I want to play won't even have those quality. Yeah, and so actually, so it might, because I think like this, I think you can get it like if you buy it off of like for AliExpress, it's like 50, Amazon 70. But this is about something I thought about getting literally just for the purpose of playing Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance game, and like maybe like Game Gear and Neo Geo Pocket.
Sure.
Like to kind of have, even though it's more nostalgia for the other, but kind of like the majority of those games that I know like we'll never get like we'll never get like those Nintendo first party titles.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I can emulate it on my Steam Deck, but sometimes I just want something where I can just pick up, like the Evercade, I can just pick up and play it, and I want to play those games. Ooh, check My Arcade Contra handheld.
Yeah, except that might be hard to get at this point.
Let's take a quick look here. Oh, okay. Hold on. I think I see. Let me see if I can get a. Let me see if I. Share this tab instead. See, how does that look here? Okay. Oh, so interesting. So yeah. It's the horizontal, but has like that vertical screen on it.
Huh.
Yeah, that D-pad is horrible, but yeah.
What other games does this one have on it? Because they usually have more than one game on it. This one has at least 2 or 3 on there.
Probably, is it just all the?
Well, it would be in the description, I think.
Let me scroll down. Let me get this.
Or there was a photo of the box or something.
Yeah.
Because I have the Pac-Man one, and that has like it has 2 other Pac-Man games on it, Pac-Mania, and I can't remember what the other one was.
You can link these to 2 players.
The Pac puzzle game, I can't remember the name of it. Same one we got on the Namco Collection 1 or 2.
Huh.
Yeah. There's mine just hanging out.
Oh, titles include Contra and Super Contra.
So, okay, it has those too. Okay.
Yeah. So you know what? So those arcade machines, like I've seen those, and I think I maybe saw a Gaelco. So like for the longest time, I would see those like at Target, like kind of like at the end of like the retro aisle. But they were like 50, $60. Like I think maybe like marked down. They were like, it was like way too ridiculous. And I'm like, I'm not paying that just for a couple,
Yeah, and I think those are even more expensive now than they were originally, because it's been years since that's been out.
Yeah, like Package. Yeah, exactly. So those look like neat. I know like Pete did it like on his channel. He had like a Miss Pac-Man one that had like a few games. So I think it's kind of something that, hey, if you're going on a road trip and you're giving it to like a young child or something, like a throwaway handheld, like you don't really care if something happens.
Well, does it? Yeah, that's actually our dog on the other side, and nobody's by her, which is why she's making that noise. Which is why I was like checking it out.
Nice.
Yeah, so all different interesting stuff. Yeah, different. So yeah, I think maybe Blaze is testing the form factor to seeing. But yeah, I forget. Like I think Crow. I remember if you were Rich. Yeah, I think you said it. Yeah, I think a lot of people like these are designed for the built-in games. Hey, doggy, like the built-in games that people are going to get on that versus like the cards are just a bonus. Such a happy doggy.
Mm-hmm.
She looks happy, but
like at the moment. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk. Yeah, bring up particularly that form factor, and just kind of yeah. If you get it from Ambernick, yeah, $57.99. But I've seen it on like an Amazon a little bit more, which is kind of a saver thing. But yeah, I've kind of just thought about that because like a lot of the times, here at my desk, I think now I have like pick up and play this. What do I have in here? Yeah, Pac-Man, mainly for Miss Pac-Man. But yeah, sometimes you just want a handheld that you can pick up and kind of like the same reason. Like right now on my handheld, I've got like Atari Collection 1, and so sometimes I just like to keep those in there, powered up and play. Actually, the funny thing is like I kind of thought about like if I did have one of those pockets and I were to take it on the trip like with Taito, I think I'd also put like a Atari 1 in there. It's just either that or one of the Namcos, but just Atari 1. Like Food Fight is just, oh my god, that is just always like always like so great. Like I really love that game. Like that, Aqua Adventure, and then Ninja Golf, like boom. And then after that, it's like, well, I'll play Centipede, and again, it's maybe not the arcade version, but it plays great. So it's like I don't care that I'm a little block. Like there's just so many. Did Taito Evercade already. October. It's coming out in October.
Yeah, the Super Pocket is October. Should we? I think they hinted that it was going to be mid-month, but I mean, I would just say safely by Halloween, people should have them.
Yeah, and I'll be curious. I know Carl will probably do like a teardown on his to see like what's a. I
mean, it's going to be busy because that's 3 straight months of drops.
Mm-hmm.
September, October for Super Pocket, November for Duke, and then there's something in December, right? There's a December drop.
Funny you should say that.
Yeah,
I like how Streamyard always has it already. So
yeah, 2 in December. Yep.
October, November.
Which 2 are in December?
Good boy.
December is Good Boy Galaxy, Witch and Wiz, and Astro Bros, and the other.
Indie Collection 3 is in December?
No.
February.
It's the 2 dual carts are December.
It's the Astro Bros
okay.
or whatever, however you say it. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was thinking the Good Boy Galaxy was it and the Indie cart, but yeah, that's the dual.
I think that Duke Nukem, is going to be fantastic. I don't know. I think, but I may be more excited about December though, just because those carts we're looking forward to it. Like, oh my god.
I mean, I can't wait to. It's just going to be awesome all around, I think.
Oh my god, I love my game. See, like I thought, like younger me would have loved a Game Boy Micro, but yeah, I was like, God. With my glasses,
I think I still have one.
It would be a strain. It's
hilarious how small that is. It's ridiculously small.
Yeah, that's the problem. I think that's why for a young child, you just you give that to them and pop in a multi-cart and you're good. But,
well, that's it. The reason it's so small is you could like take that anywhere with you, and you wouldn't even know you were carrying it.
Yeah. So yeah. That's kind of like the thing. Yeah. No, I agree with you, Jason. That was kind of like if we only just start to see like the big names coming, like if we see like a Konami collection and all that, but like, yeah, no, that's one of the things I think I kind of talked about like in my initial video, like that. It'll kind of divide the community. What I'm really hoping that they do is I'm hoping that they have a type of deal where maybe like a year later, then they can have like the physical carts come out. So people, who want the collectible, like they can get it right away, and everyone else is just like, no, give me even if it's, I would even be willing to accept if for some reason it was only like a handheld license. I would like to play that on the VS. I think that would be better than nothing. Or I don't know, like what would be super fantastic is if like the EXP would get like an update in which maybe start to see some more of those games like for free. Like that would be.
Yeah.
People would probably still complain about that, but yeah, that's kind of the whole thing. I hope we don't see only exclusives, just tied behind there. But I mean, if we never do get a title collect, I won't hold that against Blaze. It's just, I get it. Like I know, like that's like to some people, like that's their Capcom or their Namco, and I think again that's why there's a bunch of. So then I kind of have to wonder, maybe is that why they're doing this? Like, yeah, we know the majority of people will buy it for they know existing Evercade customers will buy that for the title collection. And then other people who maybe aren't in Evercade as much, like Capcom is, I think, more geared towards them. Because it's like they don't have any XP. It's like, oh yeah, I get all the Capcom games, and some people may even forget that there's a cartridge slot in it. So,
yeah,
I don't know. With me, I could see getting one. With me though, I could see getting one of those. I think because of that, and who knows if they are going to put firmware updates in the carts, but I could see getting one of those and wanting to bring my favorite collection with me, and like that one collection I won't play for some reason. Like that would just happen. Yeah,
right.
Or like that one game that would just. That was going to happen, but yeah, when you all get it, I'll be curious to see how big in comparison it is. How do the games look? Because from the screenshots, it looks like they take up most of the screen. So I'll be really curious.
Yeah, we'll definitely. I mean, I know I'll for sure be doing some vids and taking a look at that. So yeah, we'll be there.
But yeah, for the end of this month, Sunsoft, I'm still very Blaster Master. I'm still very much excited. I'm glad that pretty much I completed and played everything for now that I wanted on Pico, and then beat almost every. Well, I still got to beat the SNES version on Sydney Hunter, and Jester is. Oh man, Jester is still great to come back to. But anyway, I'm glad that I'm getting all that playing out of my system because Blaster Master. I want to really try to beat that.
Yeah.
Forget Blaster Master. It's all about Journey to Silius.
Yeah, that game. And it's funny, that was kind of someone in the chat mentioned earlier about like how nostalgia is funny like that. Like initially it'll be all about that, but then maybe Journey to Silius, what's it? Silius?
Yeah, Silius.
Okay, I was about to say silliness. But yeah, like but then that might be the one that's like, oh my god, this I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blaster Master.
Journey to Silius was originally supposed to be a Terminator game.
Mm-hmm.
But then they didn't. They either lost the rights to it or never got them, and they just changed everything. Which is funny because I think the last boss is still a T800.
Yeah. That's good times.
So what's interesting? So Genjoke, what's interesting on the so like, here's the thing. Like with the Sega Master System version, right? The reason that's like easy is, at least for me, is because of save states. Like ultimately, because you do get up to 8 lives. That is the kind of game that, like, if I had back in the day, like, yes, you play it, you beat it like in under an hour, but it would have taken a lot of practice to find, to get to that point, because you have no continues. And then the SNES version, you have the password system, so that does make it easier. And then I don't know, like the television version for me, like it doesn't really fit into that Sydney Hunter universe. It's more like Smurfs with the Sydney Hunter skin, but it's different. And then oh my god, yeah, I'm going to talk about, like, Jester is great. Like, Jester is one of those games. It's very punishing. Like, pretty much if you run out of torches, like, you're done, unless you can get lucky and you have one in the other room and you have the patience to go through and play that. But yeah, yeah. So actually, you know what? With that, looking at things, I think we can kind of dive into final thoughts and kind of talk about what's on y'all's YouTube channels and stuff for next week. I just looked at the time. Like,
yeah.
But this has been awesome.
Absolutely. I mean, so for us over here, we're just kind of like throwing things out there. There's tons of stuff that is still like in the can or just needs to like final touch up edits to go out. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff that is just gonna wind up magically appearing. On the less than video games front, we started looking at some card game action that I keep teasing.
Yes, you do.
Because this game's out, so we're checking out some of the Disney Lorcana. And
see, you've got a good mix in it. You've got a, I mean, interrupt, no, like Rich has a good mix on his channel. I mean, because like, okay, so it's like, it's neat because like, Atari VCS, I'll see all these new games, and then I can also play it on Steam. And then it'll switch over, and then it'll be like, oh, cool, like like Lord of the Rings. Like I like how it's not just like Magic the Gathering; it's Lord of the Rings, so it's stuff that like you don't see. And then we also have like Rich's Restoration. So yeah, you've got like a good mix, like each week, and I really like. And that's what, for those of you if you aren't already subbed from this one, yeah, check out Rich's channel because he has a really good variety. So even if you don't watch all of his videos, like he comes out with multiple videos. I'll guarantee there's at least one video per week of his that you would like. There's definitely something there, and it's so varied. And then it wasn't too long ago that we had Master System Mondays and we beat Golden Axe 4, so it's like anyways, yeah, go ahead.
And stuff like that might start to come back as I restore more of the collection, you know what I mean? The journey of restoring means like hopefully the journey of playing some more. So awesome. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much that. But yeah, it'll be sporadic. So there'll literally be disparate content coming all over the place because that's just the way it is right now with first 2 weeks of full school coming in. So, and then of course, some card action coming at you this week, but it might be a little different. Hence my wink, nudge, nudge at the beginning of the episode.
Oh yeah.
So, but also a little housekeeping right before we go. Global housekeeping on any channel that touches our StreamYard. You may happen to notice that things are looking possibly a little clearer and sounding a little better.
I was going to ask you about that because when I went to click the go live button, it said streaming in HD, and I was like, wait, did he upgrade it? Was that a fluke? I was gonna,
yeah, and you know who you can thank to that?
Who?
The Good Times Club.
Nice.
Because it's every single member of those Good Times Clubs that's been helping out and doing awesome things over on Bacon Ice Cream Productions that make this happen. But it's not just us at Bacon Ice Cream Productions that's benefiting from this upgrade, of course. over here on Evercade Effect, anything that's been, goes down on StreamYard over at Calling All Retro Gamers, anything that goes down over there, it's upgrades all around. And it really is a testament to the awesome community that we have. And like I said, specifically the members of the Good Times Club, they made it happen. So it's really cool. And hopefully you guys are benefiting from that. And I also read somewhere that the old algorithm kind of likes it when you have better quality videos out there too. So hopefully that'll help us out in more ways than one.
Yeah. No, that's because like sometimes like what I was having to do, and sometimes I don't have the time, depending, is I would record it, but then because of that, I would still have to like re-render it.
Right.
And like Adobe, which is like a pain. But I'm like, I just did the video and I have my stream.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's no
Good
re-rendering.
stuff.
Cool. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I was like, yeah, everyone's coming in a little bit clearer. Well, I'm glad the downloaded videos, I got that in the if the ones are too long, I'll get 320p, but I'm glad I got the 720 because they don't stretch to the full screen anyways.
Right.
And some of the crow captures, like they could like be like over, like it could be really big. Let's just like a couple hours. No. Yeah, no.
Wait till you get to a cathedral.
God, yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, we're in HD, baby. So that's
yeah, man.
That's awesome. And thank you, Good Time members, for making it good times for all of us. Cool. So yeah, Rich has got like a lot of good stuff. I'm glad though that like some of them have happy endings, because it's funny because when I saw recent one, it's a little depressing. It's like here's where everything used to be. It didn't always look like this. I was like, man, it's a great intro because it's true and it does invoke that emotion, but it's like it's great. It's great. It's great at the end. But yeah, it does also show a testament to some of these Evercade cards, just like how like they survive. I'm like,
I mean, I honestly did not expect that almost at all for most of them. I know it's like flash ROM and like that's kind of cool, and most of those are pretty resilient, but like that old adage, like they don't make them like they used to, like really does apply to a lot of things. But for whatever reason, these cards are hanging in. So I'm down with that.
Yeah, it's like as long as you don't have like the old like the first set of them, where it can be difficult to properly make a connection to get in or out. Like, man,
yeah.
That was
was a little weird.
Yeah,
I have to learn what somebody mentioned, back bleeding. I don't know what that means. Like to like shave down the carts or something like that.
Huh.
So like I have to like go and look that up, and then I'm actually gonna try that on the two that were a little too tight for even the OG. So yeah, we're gonna have to try that.
Well, I was just gonna use if I felt like it, I'd just use a Dremel with like the sandpaper attachment.
Oh yeah. You know what? That probably would work too, because we're only looking for maybe we're talking like a 30 second.
Just a little bit on each side, and it'd probably be good to go.
I think I would do that by hand. I'd be afraid that it bust through the card. You have to be very careful. But like the thing though is, it's like, let's say like you want to like give that to like a young child or something to play. Like, it's like, I hope that's the only cart that you want to play, because it's like it's even with tools for an adult, like you have to struggle to get that out. There's like no way.
You just need a screwdriver, and then you just like put it in the crack and then twist, and it's out.
Yeah, but metal though on plastic, like that's why I was happy to see that Rich used a plastic spudger, because you don't want to scratch the hell out of it.
Why not?
All right. What do you have going on your channel next week, bro?
Well, I don't really have anything planned at the moment. I'm still in the middle of C64 Collection 2. I'm actually 4 games into it. Wow, one of those games is funny. I'm toying around with putting an uncensored version of that game when I talked about that game, because I'm going to have to bleep a lot of that out. So I might have a hidden video that's uncensored version. When I get to editing the video, I have what I do is when I play the game, I then write the script right away, and then I record the dialogue for that game, and then I move on to the next one, just so it's all at once, and I'm not like doing like 20 pages of a script all at once. But I did that for, what was the game? What was the game on the C64 collection where you're like walking around the town and you have to trade with people? Why can't I remember the name of it?
That one that was ported from the
Spectrum. Yeah.
Yes.
That game has got to be the worst game I ever played.
Wow.
Yeah, that was one of the ones. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, like going through it.
Yeah. You need to know what you're doing to begin with. But it was so weird because the more I learned about the game,
Thank you, Jen
the
Joke, Fire Lord. Yes.
Fire Lord, yes, the more like it's like, why is this a choice? I'll give you a little preview. The one thing I can't understand about the game is the whole game is around trading with people and bartering with them. But you have a bartering meter. So you can only talk to them for so long. And then when that meter disappears, you can't talk to anybody until you refill it again. Why was that put in the game? It actually soft blocked me in a game. Because I was trapped in an area. The only way I could get out was to teleport out. And I couldn't talk to anybody to teleport out because my bartering energy was down to the gone, and there was no pickups anywhere.
That's weird.
So,
Crazy.
yeah, that was, that's a really bad game. I know people like, am I gone? Did I disappear?
No, well, you're still here, sort of.
Okay. Yeah, I accidentally clicked on. There we go. I didn't think I closed that. I just accidentally. I'm on my tablet, and I must have accidentally hit another icon. But I did play Uridium. I just finished. I have to finish up Uridium, and then I'll probably be on to like World Games and California Games, and move on from there. Other than that, I've just been playing like the stuff I normally play. I like Wreckfest every day because every day there's new challenges to play. So I play. That's like gotta be my favorite game of all time at this point. So
nice.
Yeah, I can't. I don't really have anything else planned on my other channels.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Crow's, Pinball Effects Next Generation video, check that out.
Yeah, I did that one recently, and that was the one that was putting everything else on hold because I had early access to that, and it's like that was like the one of the few times that could actually put out a video on the day of release. Woo-hoo. So I just wanted to make sure that I got a video done before that day, and I finished it like the day before. So that's why I'm not really as far into the C64 collection as I'd like to be. And there's just so many other videos I want to put on my main channel, but I'm like, there's so many different Steam games and stuff I want to make a video for, but I'm just working on other stuff. So I just do what I can. I'm not going to kill myself to do all this stuff. It's,
it's supposed to be for fun. It's not like it's your main source of income.
So if I don't put out a video on the other channel for like months at a time, that's what's going to happen.
Gotcha. Nice. So what do I have going on? So first of all, I've done something a little bit different, and as far as kind of like how I do my first impressions, honestly, I appreciate that the community has been pretty receptive to that. And kind of what I mean is, I like to go ahead and play the game, give first impressions, play blind, do no research and all that. And then I kind of started with Pico 3, where I kind of felt I needed to do an update video, not really a full review, but I kind of thought I wanted to give my updated thoughts and opinions, but kind of doing it in a retro rich style. And what I mean, is like when you've got it like in the past, you've done like a deeper dive where like you just kind of like bring up the games, and maybe sometimes you play a little bit, or you kind of just like talk and kind of do like more of an analysis. But it's focused, but it's not focused on showing off like gameplay. It's like, hey, it's now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk more, do a deep dive. Sure. So I kind of like that because for me, I didn't want to mix it. So and I kind of point out, hey, if you want to see this, check out my previous video. And the community seems to like that. And I've kind of been having more fun, and actually, it makes definitely like it makes me like especially the arcade collections, like want to beat them. Like it really forces you to play it more, which is good. Not that I would anyways.
That's sweet.
But, I've been enjoying doing that. So I'm going to do that. I did that with the Pico arcades, and I'm going to do that with Sydney Hunter.
Nice.
Kind of it's only 4 games. Kind of give an update. Yeah, people seem to like that format. So I think I may make a separate playlist, but I think that's what I'm going to do when I get a collection. First impressions. And then, hey, here's a shorter video, kind of more updated thoughts. But yeah, I wanted to give Rich credit because I remember I really liked watching that format.
Awesome.
You've kind of done the same thing, like kind of with kind of like the good times, like, hey, is this fun? And then later on, maybe weeks just revisiting it. So I'm like, yeah, it kind of naturally happened, but I know like some of that I kind of got from, which is it's kind of fun to do that and just kind of
Yeah, no, it is really cool to kind of like look at it that way, and it is part of the plan to continue to do that. It just like it was one of those weird things where I kind of like stalled because I started Fun for Fiving each game of a cart, and then I would do one of those to finish the cart, and it's been so long since I went back and did Fun for Fives on that. I'm like, wow, but
yeah.
I did get needled by certain community members over on my side to be like, hey, you know what's up with the Evercade stuff? And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. I should probably play some of that. So,
Right.
You'll be seeing more of that over here too.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. You got limited time, and there's so many.
Exactly, man.
I mean, that's our Crow had to create like three or so different
I
channels.
still haven't played that Xenotilt game. I bought that as soon as it came out, and I still never booted it up.
Right. Yeah.
And then I was going to say, speaking of needing to get back into things, so like for being busy and stuff. So for a while, I've been wanting to either put out more Steam Deck videos, or I've been wanting to this kind of other game, like really something like playing the Survivor type games.
Yeah.
Like Halls of Torment, but like Nomad Survivor, like that's like a $3. That's like a $3 game, and Fanatical had it like for $1. It's one of those bundle. I couldn't find anything else. And then there was another like one that was released completely free on Steam. Can't remember the name. It was like a fan-based one that's like anime.
That's
but
cool.
it worked. But it's but it works as a Survivor's clone. Yeah. So there's stuff like that, and then like on Tim's Tiny Arcade, he was like giving away like a copy of like Doodle Taxi, from a drawing, and like I happened to win that. So that plays really well on deck, and that's like a very cool like laid back like Crazy Taxi. So I might do a video on that. Yeah. So there's definitely more. Yeah, I definitely want to do more different videos on on Karg and whatnot. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, Jason said, yeah, no, Jester is quality, and I do want to. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about. that. So yeah, that's what we have all going on our channels next week. Polls will be up always. Yeah, I love Doodle Taxi. I just kind of like had to like get into it. It's not Crazy Taxi, and that like in Crazy Taxi you can crash, you can run over stuff, and your passengers will just complain. And this, if you do too much of that, you drop them off and you don't get paid. I'm like, what? So yeah. But it's not as crowded though. It's more of a mellow. It's very different. Only thing they need to do is they just have to add cloud saves to that game. But yeah, very different. So yeah, there's other non-Evercade stuff that I do want to put on card. But yeah, it's one of those things where kind of like find the time, be in the mood, and what excites you. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's it. And I just wanted. Last thing that I will say too, is that for my channel members, that like monthly, I'll definitely, I'll ask you guys occasionally if there's something else like extra you want to see. Like I think I did like an office tour where you don't see, but like the bloopers and something like more behind the scenes. Like I have enough of those like saved up. Like after I record City Hunter, I'll be putting that out.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, that's just always kind of fun to do. And always, thank you to all our viewers, everyone who supports all of our channels,
100%,
watches our stuff, likes our stuff, subs our stuff, all that good stuff. We really appreciate it. So, with that said, we'll catch you next week.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.